Today we're going to talk about how to get yourself unstuck whenever you feel stuck in life and how to move your life from average to truly epic. Coming up. All right, so feeling stuck in life. This is something that I know way too well. This is my life prior to coming and learning this work that we're practicing here. See, even though I had everything in my life arranged exactly the way I wanted it, I had a big, beautiful house, I had a beautiful wife, I had my dream car, I had my dream job, but I felt totally stuck because looking at my life, I went to work, I came home, I said hi to my wife, how's your day? Then I got on the computer, I played some games, or I got on the internet, then I watched TV with my wife, but we were just watching it. Then I went to sleep. And then I got up the next morning, went to work, came home, said hi to my wife, how was your day? Got on the computer, watched TV, and so on. And this went on day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And I just started to look at my life, feeling very dissatisfied, like there's got to be more to life than this, than just the same routine over and over. Even though I had nice things around me, I still wasn't satisfied. I was looking for something greater. Now, what happened that helped me break out of the stuckness was a little life emergency. I got laid off from my job that I was so attached to and proud of. And so all of a sudden, I'm standing there looking for answers. What do I do now? And that was a big benefit for me. And see, this is what happens to a lot of us. When we feel stuck, we get pushed out of the stuckness by some sort of emergency, big life situation, which at the time we really don't like that emergency. And it frightens us, it gets us uneasy, but it's really a blessing. And it was for me because I started to look out of my narrow rut in life and looking just for answers. I didn't know what they were, but I was open for them. I was looking beyond what I already knew in my life. And just the looking for it revealed answers. They started to come to me. And that's how this method came to me. And once I started practicing this, I discovered this is what I'm looking for. This is what life is all about. And ever since that day, this is what I've made my life about. Practicing this and sharing this. Now, let's take a look at the situation of stuckness because we all fall into this inevitably in some area of our life, whether it's in our career, in our business, in our relationships, in our goals, our dreams. So let's take a look at how we react, how we feel when we feel stuck, what we try to do about it, and what works and what doesn't work. All right? So just take a look at something right now that you may feel stuck in, whether it's in your relationship or your business or your career. See if there's goals that you've been holding in mind, dreaming about, and they just seem far away. Now, just notice your attitude towards that, wanting to change it. And see, this happens especially when we really want to get out of it. Like, if we're in a lousy career situation, we're barely getting by, and we feel stuck. We feel like, well, we don't have the right skills or the education to get the right job or do what I really want to do. I don't have any answers, and I'm just stuck in this lousy position that I'm in. We really resist it, don't we? And we want to change something. And so sometimes our reaction is to push ourselves. Okay, let's go learn something. Let's jump into this business venture. Let's jump into this opportunity. And we just throw ourselves in there. And it's kind of uncomfortable, right? Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, to push ourselves to take action, because it's better than staying stuck. It's better than being in apathy, being in a low energy, not moving at all. So making a decision to push yourself and push through the stuckness isn't necessarily bad. But notice it's not necessarily good either. It doesn't feel so great. Because when you start pushing, what happens? Your resistance pushes back. So you got to fight through your resistance. And even though you may be moving forward, and even though you may accomplish your goals, it's not so fun. It's like a lot of effort and work to get there. So that's one way to do it. And that's what a lot of us usually end up doing if we're really motivated to get out of the stuckness. We do that. Not so bad. But let's look at an easier way. Let's look at a more effortless way. Now, think about this thing that you feel stuck about, that you want to change in your life, your current situation. And take a look at that wanting to change it. That kind of push. I got to push to do something. And maybe you're not even taking action, but you just feel like you're pushing yourself anyway, right? You just feel like this clenching, this clutching, whenever you think about the situation. And even though you may not be going in any direction, you're still pushing yourself. So see if you feel that, and then feel that wanting to change. Now, this is one of the big lessons that we learn here and that we practice here, is that when you get stuck, you got to let go of wanting to control that stuckness. And see this wanting to change, this wanting to push it, to do something about it, make a difference. That's wanting to control the stuckness. And notice the more you want to control it, the more difficult it is. Because again, you're pushing and your resistance is pushing back. And then there's this battle, this fight back and forth. Plus also, remember the mind, it deals in pictures only. And so the more you want to control the stuckness, the more you're picturing the problem, the stuckness, which you just created. And you reinforce this creation, right? So we're going to practice something different now. We're going to practice surrender. So first of all, when you think about the situation, let's just get some energy flowing. Bring your awareness to your stomach or chest and see if there's any sort of tension, contraction, tightness. See, that's your body. That's a manifestation where your body's demonstrating, showing you that you're pushing on this energy. You're pushing down on your feelings. And that's where that contraction, that tightness is coming from. All right, so now just open up. Open up that imaginary window or door. Allow that energy to pass through. Just allow it to leave. And allow it to leave even more. And 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 just open up. Allow that energy to pass through. It's just energy. It's not good. It's not bad. Just energy passing through. Now allow it to leave even more. And even more. And notice how you feel. See if you feel a little bit easier, a little bit lighter. That's all we're looking for. Showing us that we're moving in the right direction. Now, take a look to see if you're trying to figure out how to get out of the stuckness. And notice how useless that is. See, just like in my situation, when I was in that rut in life, all I knew was all the information in my mind about what life was about and what I could do with my life, which was very limited. And I didn't know what was out there. I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know the possibilities. I just knew what I was capable of, which was very limited. So that focus on my mind and looking at the world through my mind was keeping me stuck. Now, when I was faced with that emergency situation where I got laid off, I was forced to look for answers beyond my mind because I didn't have them. But I had to do something. So that looking for it, there's got to be an answer. It actually got me to look beyond my mind. And that's what we got to do now. So first, we just have to get clear that our mind, it doesn't have the answers that we're looking for to get out of the stuckness. See, just ask your mind right now if it knows definitively how to move forward in your life. And it doesn't have a clue, does it? So asking your mind over and over and over again and trying to figure it out through your mind is a waste of time. So can you let that go for a moment now? Just let go of asking your mind. And now, take a look to see if you're dissatisfied with what's going on. And that was my situation. I was very dissatisfied with my life, even though I had lots of nice things that accumulated in my life. And I'd organized my life very nicely. Yet it wasn't enough. I wanted more. So take a look to see if you're dissatisfied with the situation that you're in now, with your life as it is now. And how does it help you to disapprove of yourself right now? Are you going to achieve positive by practicing negativity? No. And who's doing this? Who's in charge here? You're in charge, right? You're the owner. You're the boss. You're the presence here. You're the ultimate witness. This is all your picture. And from this point of view, you can make a decision. You can discriminate and decide, I'm going to be positive and love my life, or I'm going to be negative and beat it up. What do you decide? So could you let go of disapproving of the situation in your life? And could you let go disapproving of it even more? And could you let go disapproving of it even more? And even more. And even more. And could you let go disapproving of it even more? And even more. And even more. And even more. And could you let go disapproving of it even more? And even more. And even more. And could you let go disapproving of it even more? And could you let go of disapproving of it even more? And notice how that feels. Now, could you give yourself and could you give your life some approval? Just because. Could you give it some more approval? Because positive doesn't hurt anything. And could you give it some more approval? And could you give yourself some approval? And more. And even 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 more. And notice this is the simplest thing. We're not telling ourselves a big story in our head about why we're so great. It's just very direct, very simple. Could you like yourself? That's it, just because. And could you like yourself a little bit more? Just now. And could you like yourself a little bit more? And a little bit more. And even more. Notice how you feel. Now see if you feel less stuck about your life than a moment ago. And see if you feel more open to new possibilities with more of a sense of I can. Just take a look. Don't ask your mind. Just ask your intuition. Ask your feelingness. How you feel about that. See if you feel more positive now. See if you feel lighter. Now see, this is just opening up to the essence of who you really are. And this opens you up to a far greater intelligence than your mind. Where you just open, without any expectation of answers coming to you. I mean, you just stay open, stay loving. Like right now, could you love yourself even more? And just love your life exactly as it is. And more. And even more. And notice, even if things don't change in your life, even if things remain the same forever, in this moment, when you're loving yourself, this isn't so bad. Now, what do you think will happen if you're creating positivity in the now? What sorts of things will open up in your life? What sorts of harmony will happen in your life? You can feel that, right? See, now we're getting out of the stuckness. Now we're just open to beingness, which has no stuckness at all. It's totally unlimited. Now let's just dissolve the rest of the stuckness. Take a look at that situation. And again, could you let go of wanting to change it? And could you let go of wanting to control it? Could you let go of wanting it to be different? Could you let go of that dissatisfaction? And instead, allow it to be that way. Just try this out. This isn't rolling over. This isn't playing dead. Try it out. See what you experience. Could you just allow it to be that way? Could you give that stuckness permission to be there? And could you surrender to the situation in your life exactly as it is? So if you're in a position in your career that's not so great, it hasn't moved in years, and it looks like it never will, could you just allow it to be that way? And could you surrender to the situation? Move towards it. And let go of fighting with it. Just surrender to it. Surrender to it a little bit more. Allow it to be exactly as it is. And surrender to it a little bit more. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And even more. And could you surrender to now? Just where you are in your life right now. And how you feel, all the stuff that's going on. You just allow it all to be exactly as it is. And could you surrender to now? The good, the bad, the everything now. And could you surrender to now? Even more. And allow now to be exactly as it is. And notice how you feel now. See if you still feel stuck, or see if you feel less stuck than you did before. And see, here your feelings are showing you that you're moving in the right direction. And they're pointing out the truth, especially when you're feeling your intuition. And your intuition says, there is a possibility. There is an answer. Yes, I can. That's the real you that's talking to you. We call it intuition. So this shows us what we must do. We got to drop our mind. So our mind is a very limited instrument. All our mind knows is just all the information that we've gathered, because all the mind is a recording and playback device. That's it. It just records everything. It plays it back to us. But really, everything that's recorded is just a bunch of junk. If we could just drop the mind and rely on our intuition, go through our whole life via intuition, we'd never be stuck. Our life would be totally harmonious, effortless, and there'd be low limitation to what we could achieve. So pay attention to this. Whenever you feel stuck, what's going on? Notice how you're just stuck in your mind. And all you have to do to get out of your mind is what we just practiced here. Practicing love and practicing surrender. And very quickly, like that, you can free yourself, get unstuck, and do what you really want to do in your life. So practice this. And if you like this, and you find that this is helpful, hit the like button. And let me know what you're experiencing by practicing this in the comments below. See if you really feel a difference when you're talking to your intuition. And how do you know when you're talking to your intuition versus talking to your mind? Let me know that in the comments below. Let's discuss that, how we can tell the difference. All right? And if you find this helpful, share this. Because if you find this helpful, probably your friends, other people that you know, will really dig this too. Dig this feeling of being open, getting unstuck, feeling what beingness is all about. Let's share this goodness. All right? All right, so next time, just keep on moving forward. Keep on just letting go. And I'll see you again.